she was just there for the season.
I said, yo, mic check 1 2 year. Krew Season Podcast. We are back again. This is episode 139. Still in 130?
Last week I messed up. I said cuatro, should be ocho.
Yeah, I heard about that. We got the doctor pay.
139. Dang.
Somebody told me you said it wrong too. I can't remember who told me that.
I don't know, but that's a $20 fine. Kenny T is in the building. OT is in the building.
What's good?
Trill AC, man. It's another episode of the Krew Season Podcast. You boys doing on this glorious afternoon, man.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good today.
I'm here.
But yeah, see, same old same right now. So strolling, we gonna see 60 days.
60 days,
man.
You just cracked 200,000 on YouTube, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Not only that, 500,000 on TikTok by the time this dropped. 500,000. But I feel, man, just be kicking ass like that in such an exorbitant fashion. Jesus Christ.
You ain't working hard enough. You've been taking too many days off.
That's a $20 fine.
$200 fine.
Ah, hell no.
Per minute.
Nah, man. Look, man, I just want to say that, I appreciate all the support, man. We thankful for Crusader Nation always. Everybody that's new, that's tapped in, we appreciate y'all. Welcome to the game. Buckle up, man. This thing is only getting bigger and not only getting better, man. So, these is milestones, that we're going to try to celebrate. But we all focused on that bigger picture, man. So, but I don't want to let this pass without, acknowledging it, man. This is some significant stuff, man. It's a lot of people with podcasts, a lot of people with platforms that never see these type of numbers, man. So, we definitely appreciate it, for sure.
And some of these people have been doing it for years.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Hundreds of episodes in and, so again, man, salute to y'all.
Big ups to all y'all.
All right, man. Let's get into this thing, man. Let's have a little fun. Early. We ain't gonna start with nothing serious this week, man. It was a clip that was sent, and they was talking about the fact that, men tend to hold back sexually with the woman that they really love in comparison to how he handled the other chicks. I'm going to play the clip. We're going to get a little context as to what he meant by that.
I had a conversation with a guy. He said, and I never thought about it like this, when you have a woman and she's your wife, there's certain things you just don't want to do sexually to her, paths you don't want to go down with her.
Yes.
And so, therefore, you'd rather go down those things with somebody else and fulfill those needs somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is this something you've ever experienced or can relate to?
Yeah. So what it's to do with is the more a man loves and cares about women, the harder it is for him to sexually objectify her. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to do those things, but because he cares and loves her, he doesn't want to treat her like a porn star. It's easier for him to objectify women he doesn't care about.
I had a conversation with a guy. He said, and I never thought about it like this.
Oh, pardon me. So my man said, when it's your girl.
Two times.
Both thumbs is crazy. But with two
Right
girls.
thumb now, y'all.
Spit on it real smooth.
Y'all niggas have messed up a childhood classic.
two times.
Turn around.
Oh, no.
Slide to the left.
Going to hell, dog. On scholarship.
Two pops.
Childhood class. Y'all
Chris Crow.
everybody clap your hands.
Clap them cheeks.
Nah, that is incredible. That niggas have
God.
ruined my childhood, man. But yeah, he said men tend to hold back sexually, man, with the woman they love. Was it some validity to what he said?
Shit. The book is open. The book is open. It's got to be, I think, to hold some type of excitement in your marriage and relationship sexually. I think you gotta be willing to try different things with your woman sexually. They don't have to be like, porn star type stuff, but it's an experience that you wouldn't want to try with somebody else, because most of those experiences are things you might just want to do once. Mm-hmm. It's different type of connection that you have with your wife than you would have with some of these other women that you just going over there just to be down and do what you got to do like a normal sex,
right?
But with your woman, your wife, you try to be more emotionally intact and try to really please her. Is what gets you off pleasure wise. You're just not there just to fucking get yours and get out of there. I think so. No, I think not no orgy or no threesome type stuff. That's not for me, but it might be for somebody else. But other things, I think the list is open.
So, Kenny, are you saying that you're a pleaser?
Yes, I am a pleaser. Back in my day, no, I was just trying to get mine and get out of there.
Get out the way.
I got mine.
Y'all listen, ladies?
You ain't get your
Kenny say go eat that butt.
All right, I ain't say get yours. Nah, that's only for my wife. That's only when I'm married they get that kind of stuff.
They trying to be their wife. Get him to let you know that's it.
They have to have the ring on their finger.
Okay.
To get that. But yeah,
put it to the...
It's crazy.
My bad.
But yeah, I mean, that's why. Yeah, what's that book called? The book with like 100 different ways to have sex and stuff like that.
Like the Kama Sutra.
Yeah, Kama Sutra. That's for relationships. That ain't for you out here in the single life doing all that type of shit. That's for relationships. That's to keep your relationship spiced up sexually, because it gets. If you've ever been in a relationship or ever been married, it sometimes gets boring and like a routine. It becomes like the same stuff over and over again, and sometimes it just feels like a chore. That's why you have like the Kama Sutra, and you want to try different things with your wife just to spice it up and explore each other's heights of what they like and what they don't like. Give them a different type of pleasure that they ain't never had before. And you get a different type of pleasure that you ain't never had before. You climaxing off of just a certain word she say to you or a certain part of the body she touch you at. It's just, woo! It's just different, boy.
I'm thinking about that professor. He said, I've been walled. Woo!
That's my opinion. Maybe y'all think differently. I don't know.
Sure, men having middle age. All right, my bad.
Is it a different approach, man? Or is it the same?
See, when I was younger, it was definitely a different approach. It was just like, I'd never do this for my woman. I'd never. But then it's like, it's more fun when it is your woman. So, for me, for the most part, yeah. But to each his own. Because some people, what may be like, some people may want to have a threesome, but the only way they'll do it is if it's with their partner, because they just, prefer to have it with someone they care about versus just it being random. Some people, they just want it to be random. I don't want anybody I'm in a relationship with for it to, be interactive with them. I just want it to be just random or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, it's just to each his own. I think, like Kenny say, it's...
For you personally, what is it?
What you mean?
For you personally,
disclaimer shit.
Are you willing to get crazy with your woman?
I'm licking head to toe. I'm doing everything.
Let me let you up and down till you say stop.
Actually, I keep going. Let me lay with your body, baby. Won't you relax? Yes, I'm doing it all. We ain't everything. You want to do what? Let's do it. Within reason, of course. Within reason.
Hey, yo.
Within reason.
Hey,
we gotta have a talk about it.
Yeah, baby, that's a big toy. Where you gonna put that?
You gonna put it where?
This ain't for me. It's for you.
Yo.
No. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I think it is a different approach, man, because when you messing with your woman, it's more attention to detail. You actually give a damn about her reaching her climax and things of that nature. But when you out here just smashing these hoes, man, you out here doing what it is that you feel like, the effort that you feel like giving on that given day. Now, some days you may be in your bag and you like, you know, you off a little Henny, you off something, and you just in the, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing regardless. But that's not the case a lot of times. A lot of times it's just like, hey, man, I'm here, 3 a.m., fresh out the club. I'm here to do my thing and get the hell up out of here. I'm not spending the night. We ain't cuddling after. It ain't no attention to detail being made. I don't, you know what I mean? So it's that. But with your girl, it's like, hold on. I got to make sure that she get hers first.
know.
You got
I don't know,
blindfolds, baby?
I don't know, B.
Right.
Who the handcuffs for?
I don't know, man.
What you don't know? What's going
I don't
on?
know, man. I'm just saying, because you just, in the sleazy days, like we say, sometimes, you know, you don't want to leave with a bad BDR. So sometimes you go in performing. Game 7 of the finals.
I think where I'm stuck at is not the performance thing. It's the willingness to try different things. Like, you're not willing to let a woman that you just met out the club put you in blindfolds.
Correct.
Or handcuff you or put your legs up in the air like the YMCA.
How adventurous you try to be that?
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get robbed. Clearly.
You know what I'm saying? You're not willing to, you know.
That's the part of the excitement.
No, man.
I think you just in there just doing the regular, this just sex, but beat it down and get up out of there.
And again, I think what O is missing of that is he thinking just because you ain't giving A+ effort and attention to detail that it's terrible sex. It's not. You can come through there and give a B- strokes and get up out the way. So your BDR is not necessarily affected. But when it's your girl, it's a certain attention to detail. Like, I got to make sure that you're enjoying this experience and you get into your, not only enjoying it, but you reaching your peak in this experience. And then, you know, then I worry about me on the back end. But when you messing with a chick who you don't really give a damn like that, like you coming in there, you giving just enough.
You still got the J's on.
I'm toxic.
To get my passing grade.
I'm
you
toxic.
Understand me?
I'm toxic because I want you to know that you've been touched by O. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
I'm just saying. Hey, anybody if you came in contact a couple of your girls, I want y'all to be like,
Yeah, they be like, that minute man.
shit.
Bernard.
Put that thing down.
But
Remember, put my jersey in the Hall of Fame.
But see, that's how you had chicks keying your cars,
Exactly.
popping up at your
That's why I said it
job,
was toxic.
stuff like
It
that.
was.
That's why I say that ain't. You know, I ain't advising that. You come through there, you give a B+, B+, B+ at the most, B- somewhere around there, it get out the way, so you can maintain your BDR, but the attention to details is definitely different. Also, like threesomes and shit, I never want to do that with my girl. I don't care how on board she is with it. I'm good. Nope. Because I know how women think. And all it take is one instance of her glancing over there and seeing you having a little too much fun, giving a little too much effort, or
My back shots ain't sound.
right, or after it's over with, that right there opens the door for bullshit. Let's say you in there doing the threesome, you doing your thing, she agreed to it, and you cooking, you in your bag. And then after the threesome, the girl that y'all brought in don't want to just end it right there. She texting you, DMing you on the low. That could create some chaos that I'm not willing to open myself up to.
You see that video on Twitter?
What happened?
That nigga they was having a threesome. His girl was kissing him, and he was stroking the old girl, and then she kind of stopped kissing him and just stopped.
See?
And started looking like
Looking
at
in his bag,
him.
huh?
Then looking down, looking at him.
That's what I'm talking about. Because again, women are competitive, bro. So like they gonna be comparing when they watching you with that girl. They gonna be comparing. Okay, how does he do me? Wait, he's giving her way more, or he giving her too much, or he giving her the same he give me, and that ain't supposed to be going like that. So a lot of times their ego will kick in. They may be cool with it at first, but now
Time to
the whole
compete.
it's crazy.
Put your bootstraps on.
Want to get divorced so bad.
You wanted this.
You want to get divorced? It was your idea. You knew what she was signing up for.
Oh shit!
Yeah, nah.
I'm stamping my name on this. You want me to perform? This is my legacy. I gotta leave.
This is my legacy. I'm fighting for my life.
You want our name to be dragged across the streets, baby? I gotta hold us down as your man.
They're going crazy. This girl mad as hell, staying a hole in his back.
Push her out the way when she try to get her turn. Hold on. Wait a minute, baby. Damn. Go get yours. Go get yours. Hold on. Hold on.
He's trying to get stabbed, boy. Hell no. But press off wasn't involved.
Say, hold on.
I'm gonna get to you.
Pushing your girl off. It's great.
Nigga tapping on her hand. Hey, come on now. You messing up my rhythm.
You ain't where that she is. You like, where that she is. Hold on right quick. Get your stuff together. Come on back in there.
Don't feel the same.
Oh my God. Niggas gonna get killed. All right, man. Press off voice. Oh, Jesus
That's
Christ.
enough now. You get this every night. I don't get this.
You so selfish.
Oh, damn.
It's a nigga stiff on me.
Right in the middle of the foyer, too. Hold on. I ain't no more little kids trying to fight over it.
Oh, shit.
Mid-stroke, too.
Oh. Whew. All right. We get this thing moving, man. There was another situation. They sent us a clip. They was talking about it's more lucrative for a woman to be single than it is for her to be in a relationship. We're gonna play this clip. What y'all take on their breakdown?
Do y'all think being a single woman is more lucrative than being a woman in a relationship?
I don't
be
think
single.
so. You don't think it's more lucrative for a woman to be single? No. I think a woman will make more money by herself, but I think a man makes more money with a woman. A woman will help open more doors for a man. A man will not help open more doors for a woman.
Man won't help open more doors for women.
No.
You don't feel like why
that?
though?
No.
Because women are what?
Assets.
I do agree in a sense, but I also disagree because I think women are perceived more valuable that are in relationships, right? Because I think ultimately most women actually want to be in relationships. So most women actually look up and revere the women that are in happy relationships the most.
We're not talking about being happy. We're talking about making money. Here's the reason why. When you're single, you can sell sex. When you're in a relationship, you don't.
You guys think the value is the selling of the sex part? A woman's value is selling sex.
Society believes that.
Yeah, I disagree with you guys completely. I feel like at any point in time, relationship is always going to be more powerful than being single.
We're not talking, we're talking about being lucrative.
Right. I believe that it's always going to be easier for two people building something than one. You could look at people who are in powerful relationship. All of them got better from their relationship. Whether you want to talk about Michelle Obama, about Beyonce, Aisha Curry, whoever you want to talk about. They got more powerful, more lucrative, more money, more notoriety, more fame by having these strong relationships.
Do y'all think being a single woman is more?
Being a single woman, it's more lucrative than being in a relationship. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Nope. I mean, more lucrative. I don't think so. I think, I definitely think when you marry somebody, either way, you become more powerful, like you said. You're able to get in more meetings. You just more respected. I think the fact that marriage is so, I don't want to say permanent, that ain't the word, but it's so final in a sense, until you get a divorce. Like it's an official thing. So people understand that comes with commitment, that comes with loyalty for the most part. But if you're single, you can kind of just come and go as you please in a sense, especially when it comes with like business. But if somebody is married, they have a foundation, and it's more profitable because at the end of the day, the bigger umbrella is they want to push families and they want to push kids and sports and, to trickle down. So I think family is of the most important, and you definitely are more lucrative that way.
See, I think you're conflating. Though.
Yeah, you go.
I think you're conflating lucrative with powerful and important.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two totally different things. Totally different.
Lucrative is profit.
Correct.
I think you'll still be very profitable in a relationship.
Okay, so since you think that,
because you're partner.
Right. So let me present a scenario. And this is a pretty common one, if we're gonna be honest.
Let me give them the definition of lucrative.
Okay. But I'm a present a scenario while Kenny's looking this up. Let's say you have a woman who's very attractive, right, on Instagram. Okay, go ahead, read the definition.
producing a great deal of profit, a lucrative career as a stand-up comedian.
Right. Example. So let's say that we have a woman on Instagram, 500,000 followers. She been featured in videos. She getting offered to be flown out. She got men sending random cash apps to her for no reason. And let's say she might even have a little OnlyFans going on the side, doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Getting to her bag, hand over fist. But let's say she falls in love with a guy that's making $75,000. And marries this guy that's making $75,000. But just like that's above average, ain't it?
I only say you're making the same.
Right, but look, let's say that they making $75,000, $80,000. And they making about the same. But when she gets with this man, most men are gonna say, yeah, that Instagram or OnlyFans stuff is over. These men sending you random cash apps is over. These men offer you to fly out, all that shit is over with. So a lot of your streams of income are gonna be reduced, and you're gonna have to be dependent more on that man's 80 than what you're able to create. Now, in terms of what you're saying, powerful, important, sure, it may be more substance in that relationship, but she's way more restricted to his income and the little income that he's leaving her to make in comparison to her being by herself. And I can get all of this money at my leisure. I can put out 10 OnlyFans videos a day. I can, have 100 dudes in my DM sending me bread and it's acceptable. You see what I'm saying? But when I'm in that relationship, that got to stop. So that's why I feel like what he's saying, we got to differentiate important and powerful from lucrative.
I still think it's in your regular everyday life. If you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, teacher, anything like that, I think it's more lucrative. You're able to get better positions a lot of times, all that stuff. Now, use an example that you use, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But just a regular everyday, I definitely think it's easier. You can be more lucrative in a family, married versus single. But using your example, though, I agree 100%.
I think this even falls for a lawyer. Can you imagine a lawyer with a family? Or a single lawyer?
I've seen it.
A woman that's a single lawyer that can be a lawyer on the side and be an entrepreneur without having to worry about her kid or her husband, take care of her husband, doing her wifely duties.
Okay, and then
she has more free time to do that plus be a lawyer.
But imagine that times two when you have a person with you.
No, we're talking about just the woman. We're not saying you can't add in the man, because if you add the man's income, it's two parties together. Yes. We're talking about the woman being more lucrative rather than her being in a relationship and still be able to be lucrative. Most of the time, she's going to have to dull down on herself for what she's doing.
Not necessarily.
To get pregnant, to have kids, to take care of kids. Like it's common knowledge that, which is why people say all the time in terms of women catching us in income, they catching us in salary. Sure, in the short term. But in the long term, eventually these women are going to want to have kids. And now they're 6 months off of work, 8 months off of work, sometimes years off of work.
Sometimes they don't go back to work at all.
Sometimes they don't go back to work.
They just want to be stay-at-home moms.
See what I'm saying? So you got to factor these things into account when she's with a man. So now once this happens, all of that lucrative income she had coming is going to die. And now I got to depend on my man. Now, she may still have a little bit coming in, but it's going to pale in comparison to what she was making dolo. And that has to be taken into account. But you making it like, okay, nah, she a go-getter. She getting to this bag 100 miles an hour. She get with a dude who get into that bag 100 miles an hour. Just, that's just addition. It don't work like that. When you're in a relationship, shit got to be sacrificed, not only for them, but for us too. Just like us with this pod. If we was all single, this pod would be at 1 million subscribers on every platform by now. Because we can travel, we can do whatever we want, whenever we want. What, 4 a.m. podcast session? Let's go. Such and such, and where want us to fly, where? Let's go. You ain't got to ask no questions. You ain't got to get shit situated with your kids and your wife and your girl. Is she cool with me? None of that. You ain't got to answer to nothing. I could just go get my bag 100 miles an hour. So we got to reduce as well. But I think women have to reduce their ways of getting income way more than a man does, because they're not measured by income the way a man is. A woman gonna be way more willing to put her shit on the back burner and let my man produce for the family in comparison to the other way around. So I think that gotta be factored in. If we talking about lucrative. Now powerful, important, different conversation.
But so lucrative time would factor into that too, right?
Yes.
So I would think, especially if it's a relationship, I still would think that. Now, up front, you would probably be able to get definitely more money because you'll be able to do the things that you want to do when you want to do it, all opportunities. But long term, I think it'll be more lucrative.
How?
Because you're able to bring in that other side of the family man or I'm talking from a man's perspective, just, getting with a woman. Just the whole, you can sell the family aspect. That's why they got these family TV shows and, you start having kids and you can make, in a sense, money off the whole family instead of it being just you or just you and your wife. So that's why I'm saying once that comes into play, I think it could be more lucrative. Okay. Long term.
Okay, could be. Okay, likelihood of it being more lucrative. Because what you're saying is right. It's possible that we could be on some country Wayne shit. I get with a girl. I got all my kids working. We all Facebook, Instagram stars or whatever the case. Everybody bringing in money. Likelihood. It's not that. When you have a family, you have a wife, a lot of times you got to tap the brakes a little bit on your hustle, on your grind, just to make time for your kids, make time for your wife. I can't take this, like Wayne was talking about it in an interview a while back. He said, there's plenty of concerts I done turned down. I'm getting paid $500,000 a show, but I got to go to my daughter's birthday party and they want me to perform on that day. I can't do that. I got to go take care of my daughter. Or different things like that, those sacrifices that you got to make to where if that's not there, I can go get the money 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what got to be factored in. And what I'm saying is, as a woman, even more so,
but
you got to sacrifice.
But that would also mean, that would also mean too, you're operating like single and also with no kids.
Right.
Then, okay, I feel that. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, dope conversation. I mean, but it's the reason the conversation is dope is because, people speak about relationships. Like, most people get into a relationship to build their financial wealth and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, in some instances, that is the case. Y'all combining incomes and y'all able to work it out, to where, you got more money coming in. But I feel like if you a go-getter, he talking about what's more lucrative. If you got a bag chaser, like a bag chaser getting into a relationship is going to have to tap the brakes. It's because it's impossible to maintain both. Yeah. It's impossible. But that's my take on it, man. Dope conversation. Salute to Nice and Neat podcast. Them boys cooking. I've been seeing a lot of their stuff on Instagram.
Shout out to y'all boys.
Salute to them. You can't be 50-50 in a relationship as a man. You can't be. We're going to break this down and see what they had to say about that.
You can't be 50-50 with a woman when she's on her period. That's a pain and that's a journey that she has to go through every single month that you don't participate in and that you can't be 50-50 in. You can't be 50-50 in the 9 months when a woman is pregnant. That's a journey that she is going to take part of that you have no idea the emotions and the hormones and the changes in her body that she is going to have to go through. And you can't be 50-50 in the moment when she has to give birth. That is something that only a woman can do. And you can't definitely be 50-50 in the 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 months after. You can't be 50-50 in the time after when a woman gives birth and she has to breastfeed and she has that nurturing and loving relationship with a child. So what you as a man have to do is you have to honor your duty as a man and hold space for her so that she can do that freely and she can do that in her feminine energy. And as a result of that, your baby will be rewarded in that he will have a masculine and feminine presence in his life. And that is what creates a very healthy baby. You can't be 50-50.
You cannot be 50-50 in a relationship with your woman. Eventually, the scale is going to tilt. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree in those instances. Yeah, you have to take on a lot more of the relationship's duties when that's going on. I mean, that's part of life. There's certain instances where you have to take on more of the responsibilities. You have to give 90. She only got 10 in her because all her energy is going towards the 9 months of her being pregnant or whenever that week of her being on her motherly duties. Mm-hmm. She goes on an emotional roller coaster, and us men understand that we'll never understand how that feels or what's going on with our emotions or with their emotions. So yeah, you got to take on that role. I don't have no disagreement with it really. I think she's right in those instances, but it can't be like there's no times when a woman doesn't have to take on more responsibilities.
Right.
There's times when that man got to sit at work maybe for 16 hours and you got to be the head of the household. You got to take on 90 instead of his 10 when he come home from work, wore out.
Yeah.
Tired. Can't do nothing. I can't help the kids with homework. Can't. I've been doing this. I've been working around the house. I've been trying to cut this damn grass. I got to fix the toilet. I got to fix the damn heater. There's always something around the house I got to do. You know, there's times where roles change and it's never 50-50. And a relationship is never 50-50.
Right.
In all honesty, it's always shifting back and forth for who's taking more responsibility on certain tasks. So, yeah, I agree in those instances. PMS, Mother Nature, babies, 9 months pregnancy, postpartum pregnancy, yeah, those are big things.
Yeah.
Those are.
Oh, is it ever 50-50, man?
Nah, it's never 50-50. We both just have to do what's best for us and what's best for our partner in that moment, that day, that week, that month. Whatever it is, you got to always make adjustments. And the scale always slides because every month is different, every week is different. You may have more responsibility at your job for that week or so, you know. Like when you have clothes or something like that. Kenny, you got shutdowns, you know, so it's only so much you can do at certain times. So if you have a partner, like there's going to be effect on the back end, so they're going to have to pick up some slack for however long that is. But I also think, I agree what you're saying 1,000%. But what's not spoken on too much is the flip side, which is the men. How the men are affected by those adjustments. And, you know, sometimes we need patience because a lot of things are new to us as well. You going through these things, just imagine like going through something and you're supposed to be there for somebody, but you can't. There's only so much you can do. Right. All you can do is watch them go through it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even just fathom the pain they're going through or just the mental, the ups and downs, the emotions and all that stuff, and you just sitting there like helpless. So on the flip side too, men kind of need just a little patience or some things just need to be explained a little bit better. My girl wasn't feeling good the other day, and she told me a while back, like, I'm not feeling good, these are things that I like. So, you know, she was worried about what we was going to eat for dinner, stuff like that. And when
whatever you cook.
Sometimes it is, you're right. That's me, I'm Big Daddy.
I don't care if you're sick, get your ass in that kitchen.
When she got home, I had food already, I got her some flowers, I got her the stuff that she liked, and like she was in a, you know, better mood. Even though she was still feeling bad, you know, it kind of helped lighten up the mood a little bit. So, yeah, you just gotta learn your woman. There are a lot of things that's just simply not gonna be 50-50, but that's on both sides. We just gotta know how to work together, especially with your partner. You gotta learn the things that kind of gonna put them in a little bit better mood, or the things that are gonna help them relax a little bit during certain times. But again, like I said, there are instances where we can't do like a damn thing.
Yeah.
And that's the sucky part about it. As a man, wanting to heal your woman, because we're nurturers too. You know what I'm saying? So we want to protect our woman, and we don't want to see them in pain. And they talking about how they back hurting so bad or stomach hurting, whatever it is. And it's like, damn, you know, we cannot touch you here and touch you there. Sometimes you can't even touch them. You know, so that sucks too. You know, as a man wanting to not see my woman suffer. You know, so that's what I got.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think relationships ever 50-50. The man is always giving more. Always. It comes with the job description. It's what you sign up for, right? And the reason being is that if you don't believe me, then ask yourself, is the liability the same if it goes left? That's the true measure of who's at risk more. It's like we all go in on a business. I put in 50,000, you put in 10, you put in 20. If the business tanks, who loses more? So because of that, I have more responsibility than y'all have. That's just reality. That's just how it works. When you get into marriage or have a family, it's your man it's your job as a man to take care of them. Now, don't get me wrong, like your woman is gonna help you out and she gonna support you and she gonna, do what she can as far as getting the mission done, or she should. Do what she can as far as getting the mission done. But as a man, the buck stops with me. I got final decision making. I gotta make sure that we got it. I gotta be always thinking 3 steps ahead. I can't be making short-term emotional decisions because I just feel bad that day. I gotta stay level. I gotta stay focused. I gotta stay locked in as to what it is that we trying to do, regardless of the chaos that's going on around me. I gotta make sure that she's guided, in ways that she can reach her fulfillment. I gotta make sure that my kid is guided in a way in which they growing at the, pace that we need her to grow and learning at the pace that we need her to learn or him to learn. All of that stops with me. I gotta oversee all of that. And because of that, the relationship can never be 50-50. Because eventually, just like you said, you're going to start having kids and things of that nature. And you may have a go-getter as a woman when she ain't got no kids. She in school, she working this job, she got this side business, she doing that, she bringing this type of money in. But fact is, kids changes women. It does, in ways that a man could never understand because we don't go through it. Mm-hmm. We have to help them sort it out, sure, but that's different. That's like somebody getting shot and then we got to go try to nurse them back to health. Yeah, it's hard on us watching them suffer and all of that, and we trying to help them and we don't really know what to do somewhere, but we just trying to get them back right. But we didn't take the bullet. So we'll never really understand, the pain that's causing or the effects that's causing, the paranoia, the trauma, all of that stuff that come with it. We'll never get that. We'll never understand it. We can't have kids. That is what it is. So because of that, and like I said, of what you signed up for, the relationship will never be 50-50. The man is going to always give more. And if that's not what you expect to give, don't sign up for the relationship. Simple as that.
It's a fact. So what do you say to the women that feel like they give more in their relationships?
I would say go find a grown man. You with the wrong one. Because no grown man is going to allow you to give more. Like, we could even take it back to the dating stage. Who spends more money? Who comes up with most of the date ideas? Well, marriage, who pays for it?
The date ideas, they say, they ain't creative. Pay for the dates, yeah.
I'm talking about in the courting stage. When I'm trying to impress this woman, I'm trying to get her on my team. You as a man have to, for one, come up to her and initiate the conversation more times than not. Mm-hmm. You got to plan the dates. You got to go pick her up. You got to pay for them. All of these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's that in the courting stage, and then we get into the relationship stage, and now who's going to pay most of the bills most of the time, even if y'all are going 50-50. The man is going to be paying most of the bills. It's more like 60-40, 70-30, and 90-10 in some cases. But the man is going to be paying most of the bills in that type of situation. So it's like all the way through, again, it's your job to take care of that woman. Like you're responsible for her livelihood. So it's impossible for it to be 50-50. So, that's my take on it. But again, some men really feel like, it should be that way, or they have expectations of it being that way. And you are sadly mistaken. It's never going to be that way. Never. So
step it up or date now.
That's it. Or just stay single. And then you can deal with women at your own beck and call because you're not responsible for their livelihood. Now y'all just dating, y'all just kicking it. Those are different dynamics, right? But when we walk down that aisle and this is my wife and my kids, this is my family. It's my last name on this family. Mm-hmm. You gotta take what come with that.
What if he takes her last?
Where's the button? I switched it. I ain't even pressed the
I know somebody that did that.
You want to shout him out? You want to?
I ain't gonna do that to my boy.
I was just asking, is that just less? Is he less of a man for doing that?
If he take her last name, then she is the breadwinner in the relationship. She is the final call.
You take her last name, she cheating on you.
All right, y'all. Okay, now you got.
You wanted to introduce it. Let's go down the rabbit hole.
You get cheated on.
I just
straight
asked
up.
the question.
You getting pegged.
What if she takes your last name and still keeps hers?
That's cool. Like
hyphen. Are you talking about with the hyphen?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, that's cool.
But
that's all good.
Yours is first, and then her original one is after.
I mean, I don't really know. We cutting hairs. We splitting hairs now at this point.
What if you were...
What if we got a divorce and I found a wife who was willing to subscribe to my program and take my fucking last name? But yeah, so we're going to keep it moving, man. Speaking of masculinity and being a man and taking care of your family, man. Masculinity create safer environments. We're going to play this clip, man, get y'all take on this conversation.
Where there are masculine black men, there are safer environments. And what do I mean? This whole toxic masculinity farce that people try to toss out here. The term toxic masculinity came from two Caucasian men. There we go again. Shepard Bliss and Robert J. Stoller. One of them happens to be a homosexual. So let's connect these dots here. So a homosexual Caucasian man is going to tell heterosexual nations of original men what masculinity is. Not possible. Number two, if that term came out and then it became overshadowing of what masculinity is, it blurs the lines of what true masculinity is and what it is not. So now what people perceive as masculinity is putting their hands on a woman. That's masculine. No, that's not what masculinity is. Masculinity would prevent a man from putting his hands on his woman. Masculinity protects the community. Masculinity raises and respects children. Masculinity secures women. Masculinity makes it to where you're not gonna step over here and not get checked if you don't operate properly. That's what masculinity is. Toxicity is the opposite of masculinity. You can't even put those together, because the other thing is you knew it was an agenda because you never hear people talk about toxic femininity. But it's always toxic masculinity. Why? Because the agenda is to make the man weak. Because if you have weak men, you have women who are not going to be able to be protected, and therefore they are the prize, because we want to put our seed in them to perpetuate our existence. So if they don't have their security, remove the security. There are masculine black men. There are.
Shout out to Brother Rizza Islam, man. Always dropping just.
You be talking.
Just gems and gospel, man. But what are y'all thoughts on what he had to say? Masculinity creates a safer environment. It seems like what he's saying seems to be an attack on masculinity. People trying to throw toxic in front of it when a man is just being a man in terms of being masculine. But do y'all agree? Do y'all have any pushback as to what he had to say?
I don't have any pushback. What he says is 1,000% facts, and I agree 1,000%. It's a lot of thoughts I have in my head sometimes, and there are many times I don't know just how to properly put them into words. Because some of it, when I think about it, it's a lot of just like hurt, inside, because I'm like, a lot of men work so hard to be just solid individuals, but the smallest thing tears us down or puts us in a bad light, or like you can't express yourself in no kind of way, but women can say whatever they want, however they want to say it. But I try to tell you of male instinct and how men think and how men move and all this stuff to protect you. But then I'm being toxic, or I can't tell you what to do because, it's your body. So you can do what you want to do. Cool. So on the back end, when, questions start arising about, not being protected and, not feeling comfortable, it puts some men, in a very uncomfortable position. I talk about that all the time. There are times where I don't know when to jump in a situation. Like I say, I've used before, coming up, it was outside, it was a holiday or something like that. Me and all my family were getting ready to leave. It's a guy and a girl getting jumped. A guy and a girl fighting, and I want to go help her out. But my mom was like, no. Everybody was like, you mind your business. You don't know what they got going on, because 2 minutes later, they get in the car and ride off together. And it was an attack at a gas station recently, and a random civilian tried to jump in and help the woman from getting beat. The boyfriend, ends up shooting him, and she gets in the car and rides off. It's definitely a big agenda, and more men just got to start speaking up and keep speaking up, because they'll put these numbers out there acting like men aren't doing their job, especially black men. But black men are in the communities, and we are right now like the most active fathers out of all the demographics. But they're not gonna say that. It's just putting people, especially black men, in a bad light. But we don't help it. At the same time, even though it's a small group, like it's a very loud group, and a lot of people want to be like them and do the things that they do because they see the results that it gets from it, instead of thinking with their own brain. And it's boring in a sense. It's boring to do the right thing. It's hard to do the right thing. It is, But it has to be done because otherwise it's going to be chaos. It's easy to get out there and try to sell drugs or rob somebody or not work hard and just be lazy. That shit is easy to do. But actually putting in the work, actually taking care of yourself, trying to dress just decent, trying to speak correctly, work out, just anything. Anything that you want to do is going to take work. It's going to require work. And a lot of people are just too lazy right now. But going back to I went on a tangent, but going back to the toxic masculinity, it's just the simple things men just can't do. In the moment that you speak up on it or the moment that you try to be a man and put your foot down, you toxic because of that. And that don't be the case. We just not heard. And because somebody finally telling the truth to y'all, and it's a shock. So it's toxic because you don't want to accept it. That's really what it is right now.
I just want to say before Kenny go that was a very misogynistic rant. I just want to put that out there. It is. But go ahead, Kenny. Do you feel like masculinity creates a safer environment, or is it as toxic as the media and others claim it to be in this era that we're in?
No, I just think a lot of people put masculinity on anything that a man does. Whether he's a good man or a bad man, it's just masculine. So if he beats on a woman, that's a man. He's too masculine. If he's, playing with his daughter, wearing a dress, when his daughter playing Tea Party, all that's feminine. But he's not masculine. But he's doing the right thing as a man. What do you want? Nobody knows what toxic masculinity is. You can't give a clear definition.
I ain't heard one yet.
It's just whatever the other side or the woman thinks is bad to her. So you're toxic. You're showing toxic masculinity at that moment. When it's really, if there's toxic masculinity, there's toxic femininity.
Right.
But what's the definition of that? Nobody freaking knows. It's just whatever that person doesn't like at that moment. Now it's toxic masculinity. And either they're going to ride that wave for as long as they can until it's proven wrong and they find something else. But I mean, just having a masculine environment is great for society, great for the community. Because ain't nobody going to play around in that community. No Mr. Joe over there don't play around. You ain't come around here selling no damn drugs. You ain't come out and run around, egging people's houses, doing stupid crap, playing with guns and all that. You don't need that. Hey, how you doing in school? What's your grades look like? Oh, okay, cool. I'm watching you from the back door. I'm keeping an eye on you. Even though you ain't my kid, it's like you my kid. Right. Because you in my community, you in my neighborhood. The father is treating the mother right. Being a man of the household, providing groceries and everything on the table while the woman is cooking the dinner and, making sure they're getting their homework and stuff done. And it's a bond. It's a give and take environment. Yeah. Nobody's better than the other person. Everybody plays their role, but, we do have people in the community who ain't doing nothing. They're just lazy. A lot of people who aren't disciplined, they don't want to do nothing. They just want to get everything handed to them. Yep. And then they fall into this trap. Some women fall into this trap of, getting with that man just because he looks good. Mm-hmm. And then find out that he ain't doing nothing, he just being a bum. Now you toxic masculinity. That's all like all that, man. All y'all are is toxic, whatever. Well, you bit into that toxic. You like that little toxic stuff. You like doing the wrong thing just to see if you can make it right. So, I don't know.
I think both of y'all crushed that, man. I think masculinity, all masculinity is just infrastructure, boundaries, rules. Yep. But the fact is that, the older we get, the more we get away from, people being willing to kind of accept boundaries and rules. People feel like they can just do what they want to do. And there shouldn't be no consequences behind it. But just like y'all saying, true masculinity is setting the infrastructure. No, we're going to operate like this in this area because this is what's best for everybody as a whole. And, sense of community is gone because of it. People don't feel comfortable, just like he said, Mr. Joe watching the neighborhood. People don't feel comfortable doing that now because now it's Me Too's going on. Yep. He paying too much attention. Wait, he watching my kid up? Why he whooping my kid? Or why he grab my kid up like that? You ready to file a police report. Meanwhile, your kid out there acting a goddamn fool. Mr. Joe just trying to get him in line so he can to protect the community as a whole. But people gonna be way less willing to hear that than they was 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when that type of stuff was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was looking out for everybody. It was a sense of community there. It was a lot of kids that grew up in households with no daddy, but they had people like Mr. Joe. They had people like Miss Joanne on the corner that was making sure that everything was running the way it was supposed to run. But that sense of community is gone. There's people that's in neighborhoods now that ain't never met their neighbors. I'm one of them. Never met either one of my neighbors. I come and go every day, and we see each other. It's a nod, it's a salute, and keep it pushing. But part of the reason that is because the masculinity is gone. Men don't feel comfortable being masculine no more.
You can't, bro. Like, I was just thinking about, too, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like that shift of don't be touching my son, don't be telling my son what to do, I'm his parent. Who that come from? You know what I'm saying? Had it been other males that's gonna respect other males, you're gonna get your ass whooped.
Right.
We knew coming up, like Kenny said, don't go back by Mr. Joe's house, or don't go by Mr. Wilson's house, or, you know, don't cut up, don't be cussing over there, because they don't play that. They gonna send your ass home, or they gonna call your parents or something like that.
Call them right up. Hey.
Straight up.
Hey.
Straight up.
I got him right here. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got that no more. But when we had it, man, it was a great balance, because kids would, you know where you kind of act reckless, but at the same time, you would go to somebody else's house and they had structure. Like,
Right.
you see people having dinner together, and like, damn, that's normal? You thought you only see that shit on TV.
Hey, you eating here tonight, Kenny? Yes or no?
Right.
Your parents know you eating. You call them up, tell them that you eating here.
Thank
we don't
you.
want you eating here, and your mama done cook some food.
Thank
You
you.
can't go home with a full stomach.
Right.
You ain't about to put that on me.
Straight up.
Facts.
Hey, street lights on. It's time for you to get to the house.
Yep.
Need me to hop in the car. I'm gonna drive you back to the
Drive it
house.
out. Exactly.
You ain't about to walk on by yourself. You ain't about to ride your bike. We'll put your bike in the back of the car or the truck or whatever it is. You just keep it here in the garage for the time being. It ain't shit like that don't happen no more.
Because also, too, but part of that, too, is because we're not around us anymore. You know what I'm saying? We moving into these other communities that's affluent, but, it ain't us. But,
Shit, I grew up in a community that was black and white. Black and white. My next door neighbor was white. The other next door neighbor was black. Neighbor across the street was white. Miss Mary. The neighbor across the street to the other side, to the left, they was a white couple, didn't have any kids. I stayed at all their houses.
Okay.
Man, I cut the guy next door to Mr. Mark, cut his grass every goddamn weekend. He knocked on the door and wake me up.
I had all black people around me.
I mean, it didn't matter. It was just people there that cared about each other.
They gave a damn about the community.
That's very true.
So we used to play freaking capture the flag at 1 a.m. in the morning, going across the street to the neighborhood. You come back, hey, everybody was safe. You ain't had your parents ain't had nothing to worry about. But nowadays, you don't get no kickball tournaments, no dodgeball, no sideline pop, no. Or maybe it is, but I don't see it going on where I'm at.
Not as often.
Yeah, I'm thinking, just removing that masculinity, like I said, just remove the structure, man. Men don't feel comfortable being men no more, and it kind of bleeds even into the relationships. That's why you got so many dudes willing to, you know what I'm saying, just appease to whatever his woman wants. He's scared to set precedent. No, we gonna run this house like this, and this. I don't give a damn what you talking about, because this is what's best for you. Now, again, you gonna take the input, sure. But it's a lot of dudes letting their woman control the relationship, him included. No, you can't go here. You can't do this.
You should be heard.
But it's just, you know what I'm saying? So, like, as a man, and niggas scared to push back on it because they scared they might get put on child support. They scared that she gonna take alimony. She might leave him, whatever. Like, this is these fears.
They scared they ain't get no ass.
That's not scared they ain't get no ass. So you can't even be as masculine as you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think what brother was saying was 1,000% right, bro. Like, masculinity got to come back, and it got to be unapologetic when it come back. I'm not talking about toxic shit. Just like you said, toxic is shouldn't even be in the same phrase as masculinity. Those are two different things. Toxic is just degenerate behavior. And that's on both sides of the fence. That ain't just tied to men, despite the fact they try to just tie it to men. We get to speak about toxic femininity, and that's, whoa, what did you do to cause her to be? But that's another conversation for another day.
You say he's a toxic male.
Right. So, masculinity, true masculinity, being a grown man, being a man in your community, looking out for the kids in the community, like taking care of your family, raising your kids, being in the house for your kids, has to come back, man, if we want to see society improve. But as long as there's an attack on masculinity, it's just going to keep getting worse, because it's just going to mean women are going to rise to power, and women are too emotionally unstable to be leading communities. That's just what it is. So, man, true masculinity has to come back, but it starts with us. It starts with being in your household. You know what I'm saying? It starts with being the man in your household. It's a lot of dudes that got kids running around that they don't take care of, that they ain't showing up to them football games for, that they ain't showing up to them PTA meetings for, them dance recitals for.
They going to homies vacation to wherever it is in the city, state, and you got kids you can take care of, but you out there and getting vacation time to do so-and-so shit. That shit pissed me off, and your homeboys ain't saying nothing to you.
Not a damn thing.
Ain't checking you on that.
Yeah. So, until that come back, this is what we gonna deal with. So, yeah, bro, he was 1,000% right in there, man. We gonna get in the quick hits. All right. So, man, speaking on the dynamics of his relationship, speaking of masculinity, making final decisions, man said that his wife comes to him for every damn thing. And I mean everything. How should he perceive that? We're going to play the clip. Get y'all take on it, man.
She calls me, I talk to her, hang up. Jelon says, Chanel call you for everything, huh? Yeah. Because she feels like I could solve that problem.
Yep.
And here's the thing, this is the crazy part, bro. If you're not really in tune with the dynamic between you and your woman, you would think that it's annoying. And your perspective will be like, yo, it's annoying. She keeps calling me, asking me for something that I can't do nothing about. But then if you shift your perspective, bro, I look at it like, yo, I'm the one person that she wants to call for anything.
Yeah.
That's a privilege, bro.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be that for a woman, you know? And me as a man, I welcome that, because how pointless and worthless would I be if I had a woman and she wasn't doing that for me? She calls me.
Say his woman come there for everything, man. And it's a privilege. It's not annoying like most men say.
What part was that?
It's a privilege. Nice and neat podcast.
Nice and neat again, okay.
I told you, man, the boys cooking.
Them boys be cooking,
Salute to
man.
'em. But yeah, what's your thoughts on it, man?
I think if she's coming for maybe that value decision all the time, yeah, I mean, even though if she like maybe she already made a choice and she just wanted to get your opinion on it, I think, yeah, that's for everything. Yeah, I think that's beneficial because she really trusts your opinion or trusts your perspective, values it highly, But if she can't make one damn decision on her own,
Yeah.
we have a problem.
Got a problem.
We got a problem, dog. You got to be able to make some type of decision on your own. Like, you can't come to me and say, hey, should I do this? What do you feel? I don't know. I'm only going to do it because of you. What? No, you got to be able to make a decision on your own, and then whatever comes after it, hey, how do you feel about me making this such and such decision? I think you did right or you did wrong, whatever it is, but I'm not doing it for everything. I got to make every choice for you. Nah.
Right. Oh, is he wrong in his assessment that that's a privilege when your woman comes to you for every single thing?
I'm trying to look at it from all angles, and I'm leaning more towards no. It's not an issue. I think it is a privilege. It is definitely a privilege. But like Kenny said, it can't be about every single thing. Like the most minute things, like what you feel like eating that day. Like if it's you on lunch or something, we're not together. Babe, I'm thinking about this, or I don't, what you in the mood for? Like, you know what I'm saying? But the important decisions, absolutely, come to me, get my opinion on it. I respect it. And I think that is important because you've created that room and that space for her to come to you just to kind of see what you feel about it. She was thinking about doing something and she just wanted to run it by you real quick. I think that's honorable. But to just lay everything on me, thinking from the man's side, for some, when they don't understand it, it's like, God damn, bitch, what, something else?
Yeah.
Come to me again? You can't make, it starts to kind of question them, I guess, but I don't think it's bad. It's not bad. It's a privilege because you've created that space for her to just want to be sure this is the best decision or the right decision before she does it.
Yeah, I think it shows signs that your woman respects you. you know, when she's coming to you for that, you know, I say it, man, like your woman has to look up to you in the relationship or it won't work. It's as simple as that. If she feels like she makes the final decisions, or, you know, she feels like, well, I know better than he does. I'm smarter than him. I make more money than him. You know, I'm more adept at, you know, guiding us in the right direction than he is. The relationship will never work because she doesn't respect you. But I think in this type of situation, the woman respects this man greatly. She coming to him for everything. Like, again, that's your job as a man, is to guide and create infrastructure and create that space for that woman to, you know, kind of bathe in her femininity, like just bask in it. Just my man. My man. Nah, but y'all 1,000% right though. Me personally, that would annoy the hell out of me. I'm just be honest. Hopefully I can teach you enough to where you can begin to think for yourself in certain situations. You should know me enough to be able to know what I would say if you're paying enough attention to your man. Right? Because we done had these talks and you done came to me 100 times before about certain things, and just chopping it up, you knowing my mindset, knowing my ideology on different situations, you should be able to surmise what I would say. But if you can't, then now I got a question. Okay, are you just being, I guess, like childishly belligerent, or are you just
have no critical thinking?
And
you're literally dumb as a box of rocks.
Either one of those is not gonna work for me. So yeah, but you know, in terms of big decisions, hell yeah, I'm your man. You need to come to me for everything, even if it's just involving you. If it's a big decision for you, you come to me. I'm your man. I'm gonna make sure that I'm guiding you in the right direction, because I'm gonna look at it from as objective of a place as possible. And that's the issue with women. A lot of times it's hard for them to do that because they're so emotional. They tie their emotions into the decision. So as a man, we looking at it like, okay, X, Y, Z. This is this. This is that. This is this. What makes the most sense? X. I don't give a damn what's going on over here. This makes the most sense. So this is what you should do. Now, again, the woman going to do what she want to do on the back end, but she should be able to come to her man to get that, you know, firm guidance, counsel. Fact is, though, a lot of men in a relationship spend too much time asking a woman what she want. And, you know, in comparison to giving her direction. So she don't even feel comfortable coming to you for situations, because all he going to say is, well, baby, whatever you want to do. Well, baby, what do you think we should do? Well, if you feel, you know, what, hey, go. That's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But
you don't want to step on no toes.
Exactly. And that's, again, going back to the past topic, people scared to be masculine, scared to be men, scared to accept that you know, that responsibility that comes with you taking care of that woman. Scared to make final decisions, because if it go left, you're gonna be questioning, like, or you fear she gonna question you as a man. But you know, real men, grown men, lean into that, accept that.
That's a fact.
Take that on the chin. Hey, this what we should do. And if it go bad, it's my fault because I told you to do it. That's what grown man is. But you know, if your woman feel comfortable enough coming to you with that type of stuff, then you doing your damn job. Or you got a complete dummy, like Kenny said, and you need to get rid of her. But you know, you as a man should be able to make that assessment. And if you pick the dummy, that's still on you. So it's always your fault at the end of the day.
Who's the big dummy? Dumb and dumber.
I definitely had that issue when I was young, when I was much younger, trying to make sure she was happy. Well, you know, that's cool, baby. You know, it's all good. To just saying, no, this is stupid. Or no, maybe that's stupid. That's
it's stupid.
Like
it's stupid.
But I don't like it. No, you didn't even get a chance to think about it. You're right. I didn't, because I don't know. You know, instead of, that's what you should be doing, putting your foot down more.
Yeah.
But you know, they'll respect you more, and then they're gonna soften up and try to bring it to you a different way or something. But just always, you know, saying yes and trying to keep her happy. No, man, it's gonna hurt you in the end.
Whatever you want, babe.
Right.
Whatever you like. What you think?
That happy wife, happy life is bullshit.
I think Jerome about to be in his guts.
Bull.
I'm going to the grocery store, babe. Don't worry.
Whatever you think, baby. All right, we're going to keep this thing moving, man. It was a controversial conversation that was had about a woman who said that she would rather be a mom before a wife.
Of course. Of course.
I don't like how quick you stamp that, though.
We see it a lot.
Right.
We see it a lot.
So we're going to get the context as to what she meant by
Don't
that.
flame me up.
I'd rather be a mom before I be a wife.
Really? That is very interesting.
I just rather cater to a child than
a husband.
And when you're a wife,
You don't need to get married.
no, but when when you're a wife, you're a mom, and you still have to find time to be yourself. And I'd rather just find time to be a mom and just be myself as of right now.
Okay.
And
Well, I get it.
it's just I'd rather be a mom right now. So
That's a very interesting point of view.
Yeah. I'd rather be a mom before I be a wife.
That's selfish. That is very selfish.
She basically feel like a child you can just pick up and put down. That's what it seemed like. Because she can just
She feel like a child is a less of a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, bro.
Somebody that solely depends on her.
You brought a whole nother life into this earth, and you just say, "Hey,
it makes sense, bro.
It's harder to be a wife and cater to somebody else while they're catering to you."
Right.
I'd rather just have me a kid and don't have to worry about them 24/7. Feed them, bathe them, house them, give them guidance, raise them to be good human beings.
She must already got babysitters in place.
Hopefully it's not a boy, because I'm still gonna teach them masculine traits, because somehow I'm masculine or whatnot. I'm gonna find some other man that I'm gonna be dating to treat him masculine traits. And man, that's wild, man. That's actually very insane and very sad for the community. But we see it all the time.
Yep.
Women rather have a kid because that's what they strive for nowadays. Being a mother. That's the golden ticket. Mm-hmm. It's not being a wife. It's not getting a ring on your finger. It's not going the proper steps of, wife, then kid. It's kid, then hopefully I get married.
That's crazy when you actually put it in perspective and just think about it and the effect that has as a whole. Because I ain't even think about her. Think about the effect that's going to have on a kid.
Yeah, that's why it's selfish. And they seen it. And that's why they do it, because they seen it growing up.
Yep.
My mom did it.
Mm-hmm.
Look how it turned out.
Totally right.
Exactly.
Right.
My ass was struggling.
If I go through it with a plan somewhat, I plan on having you without a daddy.
That is crazy.
Without your father being there 24/7.
But it goes back to the perception of, how a lot of women are teaching men to be.
That is very toxic.
Teaching their daughters that men ain't worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So all her life, her daddy probably wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And as a whole, her mindset on men always been warped. And her mama feeding it to her, hey, these men only want you for one thing. These men come to smash. You don't trust no man. Don't trust your uncles. Don't trust this. Don't trust that. So when this woman goes out into the world, she done been programmed to think just all men ain't worth nothing. It's going to be super skepticism. It's going to be like a barbed wire fence that's 50 foot high for a man to even have a chance in being in a relationship with her. And that's what shapes that mindset. The notion, the misinformation, just like I was talking about earlier, especially in regard to black men, right? Oh, they terrible dads, they lazy, they got no work ethic, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. So all of these things are getting burned into her mind and burned in the kids of our generation's mind. So that's why they so comfortable with that being the arrangement, because with that being an arrangement, I got in there, I had the sex I wanted to have, I got the kid that I wanted to have. I just want to, extend my family. I don't want to take care of no man. I'm not his mama. Man ain't worth nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing but come in and cheat anyway, because all men cheat. All men gonna leave. All men gonna this. So let me just beat them to the punch and say, you know what? I don't even want the man at all. I just want the kid, and I'm good. Because this is how I'm gonna end up anyway. That's the mindset.
Don't even care about the kid's life, though.
Because they are delusional enough to believe that a man is not necessary to raise a kid based on what you just said. My daddy wasn't there. Look at me. I turned out okay.
Don't even read the stats, though.
So, again, there is an attack on masculinity. Damn, that might be the theme of this show, but there's an attack on masculinity as to where.
And I think they want to have kids with men they don't want to be married to.
Why? Why though?
They're just so by the looks of him, the money he has, just the swagger he has, but they know that he's just not a husband type. He's just not husband material.
So he's not husband material.
But she has a part of him.
Okay, yeah. So I can tie myself to him forever.
Dumb as hell.
I do feel that way. I could be wrong, that's just my opinion,
Because having a man is going to require some structure and there's going to require some discipline. But you having a kid, you still control the situation. You can control the narrative on how things go. So that's a lot easier to do versus, building with somebody.
Facts though. You're right. And what Kenny is saying is right in terms of tying themselves to him, because the man that I want would never want to settle down with me. I want a 1% man. I want a man that's making 150, 200,000. I want a man that's 6'3". I want a man that's, super tough, but he's super intelligent and super articulate, but feminine, and understands feminine nature and things of that. I want a superhuman. Mm-hmm. But this man has a lot of women that are on his jacket, right?
So he's gonna choose me.
Exactly. So me knowing that he's probably not gonna settle with me, if I could at least get a kid from him, I'll always have an attachment to him.
And I always get some money. They ain't gonna say, "Oh, I just want the kid with a bum."
Yeah.
Child support is coming after that.
Of course. So it makes sense in comparison to the alternative, right? Me settling with a man who may not be as lit as that, but he's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 5'10", 5'9", whatever. Go to work. He making 50, 60, 70, somewhere around there. And y'all living a above average to average life. Most women don't want above average to average. They want exceptional. And not only want, but if the man ain't exceptional, we can't be in no serious situation.
And they be so short-sighted because it ain't like you can't be exceptional.
Right.
That's just where you at in that moment.
Right.
That's it. If you get somebody who's just as hungry as you, who, is working just as hard as you, who got a similar vision, like y'all gonna get to that spot in no time. Because you got somebody with you.
You know what the wild part is, though? Is a lot of them women coming to that situation, and they don't even work that hard.
They want somebody to work harder. No, that's a fact.
That's called what it is.
That's very true.
Especially with that mindset, they don't work that hard. So it's like you want a man to come in.
They tired, B. They tired.
They tired of getting cheated on. They said.
What you told us, B? They are tired.
I was talking about quality women. I wasn't talking about these hoes. I'm talking about quality women.
Tired of getting cheated on. I'd rather just have the baby. Nut in me. Fill me up.
Fill me up.
I can pop them out.
That's horrible, man.
I don't need you for nothing but that money and the kid.
Right.
And then they don't want you to tell the kid nothing. No, you can't raise my kid.
That's what I'm saying.
I just wanted you for the baby. No, you can't raise my kid. But
my
you can,
kid.
But you can definitely give me the money for your kid.
My kid.
Wait, what?
Shit is insane, man.
How you gonna tell me how to raise my kid? Man, that's my seed too.
But that's the thing. Most women, when they talking about the kid, it's my kid. It ain't our kid. It ain't our son. That's my son. But again, it goes back to what they seen growing up. They didn't watch it. Their mama had these arguments with men. Whether it's their daddy who was half-assed there or the new man who come in and try to set the infrastructure and she put a halt to that. No, you ain't gonna talk to my son like that. I'm talking to my daughter like, that's my kid. So they grow up doing the same damn thing. And then comfortable with that dynamic. That shit is crazy. We really messed up as a society, man. I'm like, when you really just sit down and just take a step back, look at it from a macro perspective, we are in horrible straits as a society.
And they winning up top. They eating off all this shit.
Jesus Christ. That girl said with a straight face and context that she felt like was articulate, I want to be a mom before I be a wife. I'd rather cater to my kid than cater to a man.
Mm-hmm.
She said motherly duties are way easier than wife duties.
She can't have kids. She can't.
That's crazy.
It's impossible. She can't have kids.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that. So all you stay-at-home moms, I don't want to hear nothing.
Right. She just voided all that. Y'all got it easy.
She don't speak for us.
Nah, claim y'all homie, babe. Claim y'all homie. All right, man. Speaking of kids, we're going to get to the last one of quick hits, man. There was a man that was speaking about how he don't like telling his kids no, man. He was on a pod. I think it was. I ain't gonna guess. We're gonna play it, and I want to get y'all take on this perspective.
What do you think that we should work on for you? Start with Dad.
You could take us to more fun places.
You know, in that standpoint, I agree. But, you know, the last couple months has been hard for Daddy. And I try not to let you and your sisters see that. Things is gonna get better. And you and your siblings we can get back to our normal lives. Instead of telling you no, I just try to brush it off, because I don't like telling y'all no. But it's times that Daddy don't have it, and I can't afford to take all of y'all at once.
Right.
But I'm trying.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be back.
Oh.
It's gonna be back.
Oh, y'all. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. This is good, babe. This is really good. I'm glad. That's why I told you talk to Dad. You can talk to your father. Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you. Your sisters, your brothers, trying his best. Anything you think I should work on? What you think I should do?
The same thing.
What?
Exactly.
Pick up some slack, ho.
What the hell you mean?
Pick up some slack,
You can talk
ho.
to your daddy about anything. Why do you let your kids come talk to your husband about why he can't provide for them financially on certain things? If you notice as his wife, you should step in and say, "Hey, kids, your daddy can't get that. Don't go asking your daddy for nothing. Don't go ask him for that piece of candy. You can't get it. Come ask me. I'll let you know." Really? Don't put him in a predicament to where he has to break down emotionally in front of his kids like that.
You got to pull off that superhero cape.
I mean, let him go handle what the struggles that he got going on in the outside world right now, and you take care of what's going on in the household. And you just sitting there. Were they in the car?
No, they was on a stage. That was just hilarious. And she was talking to her baby father. And, you know, apparently, you know, the kid been having some issues and things of that nature. And, you know, he wanted to have a conversation with his dad. So she set it up, you know, the way they could have a conversation, but they recorded it. And this is how it, you know, came out. You know, the dad was telling him, you know, hey, I don't like telling y'all no, man, but it's just, you know, right now, times is just rough for me. I ain't got it, you know, and every time I got to tell y'all that, it breaks me down as a man. So I would rather say that I'm trying to get it done. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I can't deliver. And, you know, but I just don't want to tell y'all no, because, you know, I don't want it to affect how y'all view me. So that was his take on it.
So that was a baby daddy, not a man.
Yeah, baby daddy. Yeah.
Oh man, it's even worse. That's even worse. And to me, I could be, you know, maybe somebody give me a better answer about their viewpoints on it, but that's just the worst setup to make the baby daddy or the father look so vulnerable in front of his kids like that.
Yeah.
Financially, that he can't provide, and then now it's to the whole damn world at that.
And just hilarious. She got a bag.
I
so
was,
now it's looking crazy.
about to say that, especially when she can provide.
She can provide everything she wants.
When we go to mama's house, we can do X, Y, Z. We go to daddy's house, we can't do the same thing.
And she just sat down with the baby daddy and said, "Hey, you know, kids say they want this, and said daddy couldn't get it. What's going on?" Well, hey, I can't get it right now. I'm just, you know, I'm financially struggling right now. Can you help me out by, you know, keep them on the low, or, you know, doing something to help out the kids as a whole? Because I think that viewpoint is like, maybe it's a good impression to see the man in a vulnerable state. Maybe that helps the younger boy be vulnerable along the way in the future. But to me, I just think that just puts a negative light on the dad being like, "Oh, daddy ain't got it.
Right.
I ain't never asked him for nothing.
Daddy broke.
Daddy broke. My dad broke." Let's go interview.
That's crazy, but that's real. What's your thoughts, though?
But also, man, this is not, and I'm saying this about Jess Hilarious in particular, but just women that act a certain way just in general when it comes to like the kids. Because if it was the flip side and the daddy had it, but the mama didn't, the daddy would make sure the kids still went on the field trip or whatever they was doing. They going to amusement park, whatever. He gonna make sure it's done. Mama ain't got it, I'm gonna send her a little $300-400 But when it's the other side, it's like, why isn't that being reciprocated? If these are our kids, even if that man is in a lesser financial situation than the woman is, like, this is for the kids. Right. It's not for you. So I just wish we, you know what I'm saying, get better at that. You know, I don't know when that's going to happen, but if we just looked at it as a whole, that just makes better experiences for our kids. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to do everything all the time. Cool. I get that. But, you know, I'm thinking maybe there was some material that they wanted. Maybe it could have been some shoes.
I know.
Or something like that. You could be creative and still have the kids have fun.
What was it that they were asking for that he just couldn't say no to?
That's what I'm saying. It had to be some material that he had to really pay for.
How much spoiling are they doing to these kids? Where everything they get is yes.
Right.
Every time they want something.
Yeah. That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, that's where the context is missing, man. But I think, you know, I think you're getting to a good point. Both of y'all are in regards to we need to do a better job of protecting the other parent's image. I feel like that's not prioritized enough, especially on the woman's side. Like, I done seen women who got, you know, baby daddies and stuff, and they talking to the kids just down in the baby daddy. Oh, your daddy ain't worth nothing. He ain't this. He ain't that. He ain't got no money. He broke. He out there messing with a bunch of women. He don't love you like that, or he would be here and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I done seen men in that same situation with women who ain't worth a damn thing, and the dad still would not badmouth that woman to his kid. Hey man, your mama trying, man. She just, you know, she just going through some stuff, but she gonna be back around. She still love you. She still love you. You know what I'm saying? Or he just won't speak on her at all. But, you know, a lot of women, man, just badmouth the dad, and that creates a picture in that kid's head. Like, your kids should look at both of y'all like superhumans, bro. They should. But far too often people let their personal relationship get in the way of, you know, protecting each other's image. Now, if you just got a man who ain't worth a damn thing, then I'm not saying big him up. But what I'm saying is let the kid make their own, you know, have their own perception as to who that person is. You shouldn't be shaping it, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But oftentimes that right there is the case. And it may not be as blatant, or it may not be, but it's little things. It's he's supposed to come get you. He didn't come.
Right. Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Little things like that. You know what I'm saying, can affect the whole situation, especially when in a lot of them scenarios, the mama's doing everything she can to keep the kid away from the dad because he got a new girlfriend or because he got this. Like, it was a clip that went viral the other day. It was talking about a woman was bragging about $1,200 in child support. Now, it was probably a skit, but she was like, yeah. I need every penny of my money. You brought this this random ass girl around my son, and she in here with you today, and see, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I need all $1,200 of my stuff every month or every week. I can't remember what it was, but that was the like motivation. That's for the vitriol she had. That happens a lot. To where as a man move on, but while he's single, they great. Co-parenting is great. He come and pick the kid up, it smiles on both faces. Hey man, appreciate it, blah, 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 keeping it pushing. But the second he pull up with that new girl, it's an issue now.
She busy or she out of town.
Right.
On his weekend.
Right.
Shit like that. Y'all women be evil.
But then that don't get communicated to the kid. All the kids see is I'm supposed to be my dad this weekend. He's not here. He didn't come get me. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, we as a whole, man, we just got to do a better job of protecting the parent's image. If the parent ain't worth nothing, the kid gonna see that. And they gonna shape their own perception of it, but don't do it for them. And a lot of times that's what happened. But just like in this situation, just like Kenny was saying, like if Jess got the bag like that and it's something material, send that man that $500 through Cash App and let him buy that for his kid. That's no money to you. Hypothetically speaking, again, I don't know their scenario, but I'm saying if the situation, if that's how it is, if that's what's being argued over, again, protect that dad's image if he trying, which he clearly is, or else they wouldn't even be having that conversation.
Right.
But you know,
they trying to go to Disneyland. They want some big.
I don't know what brings up that conversation and not. Like you tell your kids you ain't got it. And you need the baby mama to set it up for you. What?
That's tough, man. That's tough, man, because it's so many dads out here that's like really trying, man. And they may not be where they need to be financially, but they still giving what they can. They showing up to every event that they need to be at, you know what I'm saying, picking their kid up on the weekends that they supposed to get with them, and they still don't get the respect they deserve, bro. And that shit is just crazy to me, man. Like, I never understand that, because I couldn't see that happening. If me and my wife got divorced tomorrow, I would not have a negative thing to say about her in front of my daughter. I don't care what we going through. That's your mama. I understand that, but that's your mama. Your mama love you. Whatever. We couldn't get this done. She couldn't do it. Whatever. That's your mama. She love you. You talk to her. You got some questions. You talk to her.
I'm still trying to understand the whole setup of how she had to set up the conversation with the kid and the father, why he couldn't just have the conversation between the kids himself.
Off camera, you talking about?
Off camera, or even off camera, or whatever it is. But like, what?
Well, I mean, she's a content creator, so
so for a show,
she a content creator.
And he agreed to that.
Who knows, man? It might be a bag and play, big dog. You know, whatever. Like I said, you never know what be going on with these content creators, but yeah, as far as the dynamic, that's why I don't even like to make it personal, because I don't know what the hell going on in their personal life. I'm just talking about that dynamic. We see it way too often. We don't do a good enough job of protecting the other parent's image, and that got to change.
Because maybe I don't want somebody else calling my kid, or my kid calling somebody else daddy. That nigga be hands on hands.
Fam. I wish.
That was a good one, kid.
I wish I would hear that shit.
You just met this man 3 weeks ago. How you calling him daddy?
It's gonna be a physical altercation. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm sorry.
I'm single.
And kidless.
Straight up, man. On that note, we gonna get into advice, Carlos. Crazy as hell. It'll ruin my whole mood just thinking about it. I'm talking about Trill just being immature, and he's not. I'm all that. Like I said, it's gonna be a physical altercation if I hear that's happening. Shit. That's just what it is.
What if you get beat up?
Masculine. Then it's gonna be a shooting that happens, but it's gonna be some type of retribution.
And she said, "Get him, daddy," but you don't know which one she talking about.
Yeah.
And you don't want the girl to get beat up.
You can say, "Daddy out here wilding. He emptied the whole clip. It's crazy."
She gonna shoot the kid first. And
shit. Playing with me like that, you got to be crazy. First one, man. KJ, Patreon.
What's good, man?
Lord. All right. They say, what's good, crew? It's KJ and my OT intro voice. Girl, sit down. You too old for your whole face. Shout out to her. You say, not a relationship question, but a podcast one. I recently had one of them debates about religion and was hit with the black people got Christianity during slavery. My response was, how do you know this? And they said social media. I don't care if it's true or not. I got to thinking how we pick and choose what parts of history to believe. Do we ever really change our minds, or do we look for something that matches how we feel and say that is a fact? If you were black and church was always felt off to you, you can hear something on TikTok to justify your feelings. It can be a lie or just misinformation. And to that person, it's the law now. I think we can agree that most people are not doing deep research. And even then, why do we believe some old stories but then say the moon landing was fake? I know this is long getting to my point, but as podcasters, do you think about how the things you say will be told as fact, rather it's wrong or right? Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, used to use way more stats than you all, but how many people do you think researched what he said or took his words to be fact for whatever reason? That's my question as podcasters. Like, how do you all feel about that? When people argue with the family on the holidays or in the break room at work, they're using y'all to support their point. Y'all like Stephen A. Smith. Hope y'all can understand what I'm asking and keep up the good work. Y'all real ones. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
So how do y'all feel about people just running with what they favorite influencer or what they favorite source of information says as fact rather than doing the research? Do y'all feel like that happens too often, or like what's y'all thoughts on that dynamic?
If I don't say it's facts, then it ain't no damn facts. That's just my opinion.
Right.
Mostly everything I say is my opinion or something, an experience I went through that became fact for me because that's the experience that I went through. There can be facts for certain experiences, and you could have the same experience and not have what I had. True. Have the same outcome. So, what I say on this podcast is from my opinion and what I experienced, not based on my facts, unless I come up here and say, hey, this is facts from this point right here. This is, unless it's a basketball game and I could see this person put up 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Everything else is, my experience and, my opinion. When it comes to religion, I don't get into no religion debate.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinions of religion. You can't change somebody's thoughts on religion. It's hard. Maybe you can, but most people you can't. It's just like their government stance. You can't do that. I don't get into those debates because everybody is stuck on who they like and who they don't like, and it is what it is. But yeah, what I say on here is just my opinion. If people run with it as fact, maybe they had the same experience as me, and that's why they believe it as facts.
Confirmation bias. What's your thoughts on it, though? How do you feel about people taking what you say on here as God's honest fact fresh out the Bible, man?
Cuz coming from the realest nigga around. Yeah, I mean, it's coming from experience. I mean, and then looking at the position that you're in today, for the most part, people will, kind of lean towards your side. Because especially if you're talking from a place of experience and you can provide some context behind it, or just sharing experiences in general, I think a lot of people can relate. Now, going by what I say as fact or as a law, I wouldn't advise that at all. Took a lot of L's, baby. Took a lot of L's.
Well, Otis said, Otis ain't say that.
Right. I mean, some stuff is for content purposes, but then, of course, when we do add in data sometimes the data is skewed. They may have asked 3,000 people, like, from a certain demographic or a certain area, a certain town, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes the data can be skewed. So the best thing you can do is, if somebody does say something, is go and just do your own research. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have different people kind of cater to your thought process or things like that sound good, but also hear the other side too, because there's gonna be just as many facts from the other side a lot of times. So and then from there, you kind of gotta, base your decision off that. That's what I've always done. Because, like he said, like growing into church too, like they would definitely, at times push a certain agenda or certain topics that they stay on heavily for a certain amount of time and things like that. So, I mean, you just believe what you want to believe, because at the end of the day, you have to live for you. And, a lot of times with all religions, they'll want you to kind of believe in their way and only way, and they tell you about how the world acts and how the world is this way, but if you holy and this and that, then this how you should be, when a lot of times a lot of them are hypocrites. I would say 98% of them are living hypocrites.
Is that facts?
I would say.
So
it's an OT fact. OT fact.
Drunk facts.
Just a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people drink, pastors, they be drinking, pastors be gambling, people in the church that's praising every day, they still lying and cheating, and everybody's, not living exactly how they say they are. So my thing would be just be a good person and live as close to right as possible. Don't be trying to scam people and rob people and kill people. Just the basic stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
I mean, as far as like hardcore fact, man, I don't believe nothing this hardcore fact that you ain't see with your own eyes, man. All these books that we quote, all these researches that we researched, that came from human study. And the fact is, humans are error-proof. Error-prone. So, I mean, we can't take nothing that's just hardcore, just blood fact, unless you see it yourself in your experience. That's why on this podcast, we speak from experience, man. A lot of it is anecdotal. That's why we don't use stats, because we don't know where the damn stats came from. These people be quoting stats like it's the Bible. Like they sit there and went to every hood, interviewed every single person. 70% of does this. 80% of does this. I think that was 1,500 people in that research study. It's 10 billion on Earth, or however many it is. So no, we're gonna speak from what I know, speak from what I done seen, speak from what I done lived. That's where the information is coming from. And that's the problem. A lot of these people that's giving advice, influence, and things of that nature, these motherfuckers ain't lived nothing. They telling you what they researched from them 1,500 people that got interviewed in Iowa.
July.
90%.
Talking about 90% of people in dating. You interview 1,500 people from Iowa, and you talk about. That's what I'm saying, bro. And that's the part of this shit that's just sickening to me, if I'm gonna be honest. Because a lot of people be running with what these people say is gospel, so much so that like they be using it in debates and shit with you. It's just like they just be quoting stats that they heard. Okay, well, who conducted the study? I don't know, but I heard Kevin Samuels say, oh, I don't know, but I heard this person say it in the red pill. I heard this person say it in the blue pill. So 70% of this, 30% of that, 40% of that. Who conducted the study? How many people was involved? Where did it come from? Nigga, pull up a article on a website from a company you never even heard of. You know what I'm saying? So, man, no, man. Don't take what nobody say as 1,000% fact. You take it as a point of reference, and you go get another point of reference, and another point of reference, and another point of reference, and you formulate your own goddamn opinion.
That's it. That's how people do books. Whenever they doing research books, they're gonna go back and find, because it's easy to cite things. All you gotta do is go to somebody that has something common like you and go back and cite it and put it in your own words.
Man. Well, we appreciate it. We're gonna move right along, man. The next one, this is from Xavier, Patreon. Make sure that, you know what I mean? So y'all ain't saying, don't say my name. All right, he says, man, I have to ask. Personal question. I understand if you don't respond. Who is more at fault? The person who stepped out or the person who withheld sex and intimacy on purpose? Time period, 2 years of inconsistent sex and 6 months of no contact and starfishing. That's the scenario.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait.
Run that back.
6 months of no contact and starfishing. So was there no contact? Or were they just starfishing while they were fucking?
The best is saying it's no contact.
Just starfish.
Just starfish.
No intimate touching, no
kissing,
rubbing,
no rubbing, no hair pulling,
just
choking.
Just here.
So there was contact.
Ankles behind your ears.
So there was contact.
Nope.
Not necessarily.
Just starfish.
He had on a condom, so you couldn't really
contact.
fit. It wasn't touching her, per se.
It was starfish.
His hands was around her. He was elevated.
Y'all know exactly what
at
the
a
hell
space.
I'm telling you, it's starfish contact.
He was elevated.
If you put your dick in a girl, I don't care what position she is, you having contact with her.
If the condom is on, did the dick ever touch her?
My body did.
My body ain't touch her. I was elevated. I was doing push. I was in push-up position.
The dick ain't touch?
No, I had a condom on.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Am I lying?
The dick did touch.
Okay, so all right, so let me see. If I put a condom on,
is the dick attached to you or not?
If you put a condom on your hand,
is the dick attached to you or not?
If you put a condom on your hand and you stick your hand in a glass of water, right, not above the condom, but halfway in, and you pull it out, did your finger actually get wet?
You touched the water. Did you touch the water?
Did I just touch
We're not
you or
asking
did I
about
touch
you.
you?
We're not asking
Did
about.
I touch you?
You touched my clothing. You ain't touched me.
I didn't touch you.
Okay. You touched my clothing. Am I lying?
Yes.
So if I'm smacking you in the back of the head with a hat on, am I touching you or smacking your head?
I don't know, but it's gonna be violence. So we gonna figure it out after violence is over.
That's fine.
What I'm saying is this: is that technically he didn't touch her.
He touched her.
I just slid in halfway. I gave her half of it.
It's only one edge. You only got one more edge to go. You might as well put the whole thing in. That's why she's starfishing.
It ain't about the size of the boat.
It ain't girthy either.
It's the motion in the ocean. She said, "I need a yacht."
Hold on. What was the question? Who's at fault more? The person who withheld the sex, or the person who cheated?
I said, "But held sex for 2 years or something." Oh, inconsistent sex.
Inconsistent sex for 2 years, 6 months of no contact but starfishing. So there was contact, but it was just like a chore sex, basically. It was just boring. It was nothing.
None of the extra stuff.
6 months.
I need to know the definition behind. I need to know the reason why this person was starfishing or not giving you sex. If there is no reason, they just like, hey, I just want to have sex. They already cheated on you anyway, so you might as well go ahead and leave.
Who's more at fault?
The person who cheated or the person who withheld the sex on purpose?
Right.
Who?
It's quite a pickle.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the person who cheated. Even though I don't want to say that.
He took the self-righteous route.
But I have to say that because you could easily just left.
True.
Come on, Kenny.
Just got out of that situation. Y'all know what I say. Don't even cheat in a marriage. Just go ahead and get out of that situation because it's already going to look bad anyway. Now she really got reason to withhold sex.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Even though they're still at wrong, a big major way at wrong because they ain't giving you no sex and you like, hey, I need this. You know, but we're not going about the situation. The thing is, someone cheated and someone just wasn't giving you sex at the amount that you wanted it and the way that you wanted it.
You didn't communicate.
So you chose wrong.
Oh.
And then you went out and cheated.
Double whammy.
That's what I spoke about earlier. But as a man, when it goes left, who has to take on more liability? That's what comes with it. I mean, he's right. I agree. Ego says that she in the wrong because she knew better than to not withhold the sex. I had to do what I had to do. But reality, logic says if I'm not happy in a situation, leave it. Now, we all know that's more easier said than done, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse not to leave. A lot of shit is hard to do. Working out is hard, but it would behoove you to work out if you want to live long.
Hold on.
So...
I got something.
Speak to it.
So could you also say that person that withheld the sex, they could have left early as well if they didn't want to give up the sex?
Well, they
could be in the wrong.
They were giving up sex, just not at the frequency of the person that wanted sex and not at the style or the pace or the position or enthusiastic enough with the sex. So they were giving it up, just not at the frequency you wanted.
Starfish enthusiasm.
That's the
name of this part. Starfish enthusiasm.
Let me see that again. Run it back one more time.
You can run it back.
Yeah,
read it
again.
The logical way would be to just leave it.
And it is no valid alternative for that because even if they do stay and not give you the sex as consistent as you would like, they still doing their duty per se. You know what I'm saying? They it's just like being at a job, right? And I'm showing up late every day.
Oh, shit.
But I'm completing my tasks. You know what I'm saying? I may not be in an exceptional way. I may not be staying a little late, put a little extra effort, but I'm getting what I got to get done at the bare minimum level. So it's like I'm still...
It's up to that job to fire you if you're not producing what you need to produce. Or they're keeping you and the job can't complain like, oh, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Well, you didn't fire me yet, so...
That's it.
I'm still doing what I want to do, even after you didn't brought me in the office and wrote me up 16 times.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, it ain't no 3 sentences.
I know. I was trying to find all the ways. Look at it.
Like,
no. I was trying to find every single way to look at it objectively.
You always do. It ain't no way. It ain't no way.
In the hat.
It said withheld sex and intimacy on purpose. So the time period is 2 years of inconsistent sex and 6 months of no contact and start fishing. So all that is together.
No contact.
So yeah, you got to go.
Yeah,
the person that cheated, you definitely in the wrong. All the way in the wrong.
My boy Try to Shoot is a bit.
I was trying to think of it, but there's no way.
It is what it is, man. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving.
But I cheated, so don't listen to me.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's not conjecture. That's not opinion.
You want to take me as a fact? That's a fact right there. You can hold that.
God, this is hilarious, man. Next one, man, is from Aaron.
Stroking them die.
Too long.
Stroke.
Jesus Christ, man. Boy, say, what up, Krew? Sleazeball University, cum laude, checking in.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Salute to my dog, man. 2 questions. I'm 25 now. Should I wait till 30 to pursue a marriage and or have a kid? And does sex before marriage or before dating affect the relationship, and how? So the first question, I'm 25. Should I wait till I'm 30 to get married and have a kid, man?
Not if you feel like you're financially prepared for it. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things. Are you mentally ready for it? You know, are you trying to have kids in the next few years? I think that's of importance too. Do you mind waiting? Because the person you deal with, you know, what is their timeline like? So that's a question you got to ask yourself, bro.
I think if you're not mentally, emotionally, and financially prepared, then 30 won't make a difference.
Fact.
If you are mentally, emotionally, and financially prepared, it don't matter what age you are. If you got all those three things down packed, then hey, I say that your age really don't make a difference, because you should know who you are mentally, emotionally in tune with yourself, and know how to communicate well, and financially can take care of yourself. You're stable, and or others. So, yeah, I mean, I think 25 is actually a damn good age to find someone around your age from 27 or 28 to 23. And settle down and start having kids. Because once you start getting older, the possibility of finding someone without kids is hard. And the possibility of someone being able to have kids starts to be harder. So, and then you start getting, you know, complacent in what you want. And you start, you know, trolling the streets a lot. And, you know.
I got a question for you, Kenny. And B, you can answer this too. Kenny, do you think all three are a must-have in order to get married, or can you not have one?
I think you can slack. When I say slack, I think you need at least 50% of all. So I think you need to be 50% financially stable. When I mean 50% that you can take care of yourself. The other 50% being able to take care of another person. But you can work on building that, you know, throughout your career. Emotionally, I think you need to be emotionally well to communicate with your own feelings and be open to, you know, talking about how you feel. You just work on, you know, catering to the other person's emotions, but that's a part of a relationship. You start to learn each other and how they react and their emotions and stuff. But as long as you know how to communicate your own emotions, you're halfway there. You're in a good spot. And mentally, you got to, you know, be mentally prepared to not seduce yourself into stepping out. Not, you know, whenever things get hard, you just check out and just give up on the whole relationship. I think that's part of the mental game. You got to be 50% mentally prepared that you can trust yourself not to do wrong. Other part is trusting the partner, whoever you have, to not do wrong themselves. And trust is hard to build, so... Yeah, I don't think you need to be 100% in everything, and I don't think you will be 100% in everything until you find that one person, especially emotionally, how to communicate your emotions to them and how they receive it, or how to communicate it properly to them so they can receive it the right way, and or vice versa.
What's the three things again?
I say mentally, emotionally, and financially.
Yeah,
emotionally.
That's my opinion. That's not facts.
Facts, man. We riding with facts. 100% of the way there. No, I think maybe about 75. And I mean, you should be heading in that direction as far as financially for sure, but mentally and emotionally, I kind of tie those two together. And I think about 25. You probably ain't got as good of a grasp on your emotions and your mental as you should. But I think, I think things start to click around 28, 27, 28, somewhere around there. And then, so, I mean, to answer this question, yes. I mean, that's my window. I advise people that all the time. I say about 25 to 30 is when you should be seriously considering that. Now, I'm not saying go out there and force it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you should, okay, now it's time to start looking. Now it's time to start taking women in a very, very, very serious fashion. Because by then you should be done graduated school, or if you was in the military, you either got out of the military or you well on to establishing you a decent career in it. or you may have gotten to your career, but you deep into your career by that point, so you should be making decent money. But the mental and the emotional comes from experience more so than age. So that's why I said by 27, 28, that's when you done had enough experience to like really know who you are, really know, be in tune with your emotions, and if you're living the right way, and studying yourself the way you need to be, then you should be in tune with those things by then. But 100%, no. But like I said, I'd say somewhere around 75, 80 is what it should be before you enter into a situation like that. Yep.
I got another random question too, kind of line. Do you think that men should have gone through a heartbreak before getting married? Like, do you think that's important that they go through that?
I mean, look, man, I wouldn't wish that on nobody except the ops. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's necessary, but it's likely that it's going to happen. And if used the right way, then it can make you a better man. You know what I'm saying? But on the opposite end, it can turn you into a red pill rage incel as well. So it kind of depends on how you respond from it, how you react from it. But I mean, if it's not necessary, let's say you met your girl at 17, high school, y'all graduate together, go to school, stay together throughout the whole way, and be married 60 years. I mean, I don't think it was necessary in that, that aspect. But, if that doesn't happen to be the case, and I think how you respond from trauma like that says a lot about you, in terms of
that's what I wanted to get into
yourself, Yeah. So, yeah, that's how I see it.
That's how I want to get, because I know a lot of, we see a lot of times how a lot of these men, how they rage towards women, and just this aggressive anger and all this built up stuff they be having inside of them sometimes. And in many instances, not a majority or anything, but it happens too often to where a man put his hands on a woman, or, eliminates a woman, all that stuff. So, and some of that comes from heartbreak. Them, the woman wanting to leave, the woman wanting to choose better, and things like that. So that's why I was just curious to know
what y'all
felt. Like, do you think it's important that a man has his heart broken before he gets married?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think people should have to go through heartache just to experience love. But that's a good question. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have to go through a heartbreak before they get married. I think if they find the person that they rightfully love, there won't be no heartbreak because they found the right person. They chose correctly the first time. Now, is that possibility high? No. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably go through a heartbreak. But there are some people that find their high school sweetheart and they just, go through the ups and downs, But, yeah.
Yeah. What was the second question? You said, should I wait till 30 to pursue marriage? Hold on. Oh, does sex before marriage or before dating affect the relationship? And how?
The sex.
Look at me.
The sex
before marriage or dating.
I need that.
Being in a serious fashion, does having sex before those things affect the relationship, and how?
Absolutely, it does.
Elaborate.
Does it affect it in a good way or a bad way, yo?
That's a great question.
I'm gonna pass the ball. No, I was trying to think of it. I was trying to think of it from the other side, but I'm like, I can't speak from the other side because I ain't never not had sex. So, I don't know. I like it before. But that's just me. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna come back to me.
The sex before marriage or dating. Is it good or bad? That's what you asked, right?
Does it affect the relationship, and how, in your opinion?
Does it affect the relationship? Yes, it does. It can affect it in a good way or a bad way. You could be the one or you could not be the one. But I think it's just I don't think it's just the sex factor. I think it's I want to say it's, can you gauge if this person is just there for the sex or if they're there because they really like who you are as a person? Because sometimes man, if you start talking to a guy and the only thing he's talking to you about is sex, he only seems interested in you as sex, then 9 times out of 10 there is no relationship except for sex. But if if you're talking to a guy and y'all really don't ever talk about sex, y'all just vibe all the time, and it's the conversation is always right. Y'all communicating about how you feeling. He still wants sex. He still wants sex, and it will affect it because now y'all have a bond, a physical bond. But I don't think it affected in a bad way, unless your sex is terrible. You know what? You still might get a second shot. Because if he really like you, hey, it is what it is.
What if it's trash second time?
Yeah, he might come in there and fuck up and get in there and skedaddle in 2 seconds.
Too anxious. That's it. He had him nervous.
He put
it in. He wasn't expecting that warmth, that welcoming warmth.
I think at my big age now, sex is not that big of an effect on how I view somebody. Mm-hmm. I guess I didn't had it too much.
Got desensitized.
If I have sex with you the first date, it won't make a difference if I have sex with you 2 months later. Mm-hmm. It won't make a goddamn difference because I already know what your purpose is here for. And if I told you I'm just out here having fun and doing my thing, you can wait 18 months. You won't hear from me until you say, okay, I'm ready to get down and dirty.
That's crazy. That's real. That's real, though.
Because why am I talking to you for 18 months straight if I know I just want to fuck?
Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm here for.
Yeah, so remove yourself situation. But if I'm saying I'm being intentional, then hey, we have sex the first date, that's not going to make a difference on how I view you as you're a hoe because you let me fuck the first date. No, I'm a hoe too because I let you get some of this on the first date. And if you value your penis like you should, you like to keep a clean ding-a-ling.
Talk about it, KT.
You ain't going to just give up the cakes like that. You're going to make her wait. You're going to make her really want it instead of just giving it up like that because that just makes it more better. And then you get you all to leave.
Oh, my God.
I'm joking.
I know some bullshit was coming. I just ain't know
my
how.
nigga Larry say, first night I never hit because I got morals and shit.
Mm-hmm. The streets is dirty. I say, if you want to start dating intentional, I rarely would want to hit on the first date. But if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, because you don't want that to affect the view that you got of her. Man, that's tough. Go ahead.
It kind of go back to what we was talking about earlier, in a sense about treating the women differently. It kind of go back to that. Like somebody that I like, I'm not as pressed to get you in the bed. Mm-hmm. I want to more know about you and who you are and how you interact and just everything. Because that more infatuates me than the physical aspect of it. So if we can definitely connect there, I just know more than likely the sex gonna be, amazing. But
incredible.
Some of y'all are just some cum.
If your vibe is as good as mine, and we having that damn of a good time,
it's gonna
and
happen.
you start drinking a little bit, stuff get, y'all just like it. You might have sex on the first night.
You might.
The first date, it happens.
You're not getting judged.
Nope.
Now, what if
your performance is getting judged?
I'm about to say, what if she
just like my performance is getting judged?
What if she wild with it? She got you bouncing off the walls.
I likes that.
I'll stick around.
I likes that.
Like the way you do business.
I likes that. Don't get up unless you're a boy and be like, oh, she didn't learn this from too many.
Is it story time, right. Kenny? You want to tell them about that time the girl had you?
Wait a second.
That's enough.
That is enough.
That's enough. God damn. It's mine.
It's attached. It's attached to me.
No. Had to get a loan to get it back.
Straight up. It's fiendish, boy.
It's his skill.
God damn.
I'm telling you, boy. Hey, and me walking out of there.
Like Bambi.
Like Bambi, boy. Newborn.
Kitty had the towel around like this.
You say he was wrapped up in the towel?
Yeah, you wrapped up in the sheets.
Nigga, I had to lay on the toilet seat to pee because I ain't know where the pee was gonna go. I wasn't gonna be able to control that thing. I had to sit on the toilet seat. Hey, oh shit!
You gotta put a restraining order on women like that, man. Jesus Christ!
Where did you get that from?
What's wrong with? What are you going through? I told you I get a little crazy.
Shit, hey, all right. Y'all think I'm joking? Hey, boy.
I'm saying I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
Me in there, boy. I thought it was time for the percolator. I'm in the
This is skill. This is an assassin in here.
I just need you to lay down. She told you.
Jesus Christ.
Tell you, boy. You tell them that's enough.
This shit should be banned in all 50 states.
Enough. You got it. No more left.
I got no more.
God damn.
I am done.
To answer the question, man, I think it does. I think it rushes you to judgment. Whether it's out loud or in your head, you know, it definitely rushes you to judgment, rushes you to the quote unquote real reason that you're there. What are we really here for? Because I think if you really like the woman, then having sex before then, it ain't gonna really affect her likelihood of becoming your woman. But if you don't like her, then that's gonna be a sobering reminder that I'm just here for the sex. You see what I'm saying? But either way, it's gonna rush you to a judgment. It's gonna get you there quicker. Because before that, as a man, our mind is just pressed on getting that ass. Let's just be honest. But once we get it, post-nut clarity takes an effect. And as a woman, you want to be on the right side of that, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the wrong side of it, you're going to notice a little distance after that's over with. But if you're on the right side of it, then things going to keep flowing as they are. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's all about how you respond afterwards. It's all about how you respond during just the caliber of woman you are. If you are elite caliber woman, we have great conversation. I enjoy being around you. We kicking it. We chopping it up about things that don't involve shallow shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as social media, sex, and we can really have real conversations. And I value your perspective and I value what it is that you bring to me. Then no, you know, it's only going to enhance if it's good. But if it's bad, it could knock some points off the score.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just honest. But on that note, man, we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Been a hell of a podcast. Appreciate Crusader Nation pulling up. Make sure y'all tap that like button on y'all way out, man. You know what I'm saying? For all the audio listeners, make sure that y'all leave a review, leave a comment if y'all haven't already. We appreciate y'all, man. Friday was a success. We told y'all we got a new YouTube live stream segment on Friday. It's gonna be Q&A for everybody who got questions for us and want their questions answered. We're gonna try to jump on there for 2 hours every Friday and just answer as many as we can in rapid fire fashion. And in 2 hours, last Friday was a success. We had a lot of people pull up on us, and hopefully we see more of y'all this week.
Only donations $10 and up getting answered. Matter of fact, $50 and up, because I'm worth more than.
Because I know my worth. But yeah, so again, we appreciate everybody that donated. We appreciate everybody that came with some dope questions. We also appreciate everybody that came on stage and was brave in order to have that conversation face to face. And hopefully we was able to provide some value. We've been getting positive feedback on it, so it's clear that y'all like it. So we're gonna keep it, keep that thing going. Housekeeping, as far as all merch, y'all know where to find it at, man. Krewseason.com for all sweaters, hoodies, and things of that nature. We're going to have a sale coming real soon. Patreon is going, of course, to know first, and they're going to get dibs first. But it's going to be a major sale. But that's going to be coming real soon. And make sure that y'all support for that. Smooth will be back very, very, very soon. I know everybody keep asking for him, man. Just, Smooth say he, you appreciate everybody that been asking and inquiring about him. He gonna be back. He good. The family good. He good. Is that all? Am I leaving something out? Hope not.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, on that note, man, we going back to some Larry June. I remember putting O on this song probably about 2 weeks ago. And yeah. You had anything you want to add to that, though?
Larry June got to give me a little stock. You got to give me a little stock.
You need some points.
I didn't put niggas on. I didn't put people on. And he keep climbing. It's my dog, man.
Salute to Larry, man. We're going to get out of here with a record called Summer Rain, featuring Ty Dolla $ign, man. We gone, man. Y'all take it easy. Be safe. Take care of each other. We're going to see y'all next Tuesday.
She was just there for the season.